Futures on the benchmark US stock indices are trading mainly lower, while the US dollar is extending strength against its rivals. The Canadian dollar has been weighed down by the negative dynamic of the stocks. Crypto traders are pleased about another surge of the number one cryptocurrency. On Friday, futures of the key US stock indices are retreating on the back of the fragile recovery of the largest global economy. Futures on the Dow Jones were 0.45% down in the early New York trade. Likewise, futures on the S&P 500 shed 0.26%. At the same time, futures on the Nasdaq rose 0.13%. Judging by the choppy futures trading, the equity market is likely to open in the red next week. Market sentiment is dampened by uncertain prospects of the U.S. economic recovery. Besides, the long-awaited stimulus package remains an open question. The U.S. lawmakers are still arguing over the size of extra financial aid. President Donald Trump suggests that almost $1 trillion should be provided in addition to the previous package of $3 trillion. The Democrats are pushing ahead with the extra stimulus of $2 trillion. Over the recent weeks, Wall Street is speculating on the prospects of the economic recovery. According to CNBC, many experts are turning pessimistic about the second coronavirus relief package in light of the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Ginsburg. They doubt that the package will be settled before the presidential election. On Thursday, Goldman Sachs downgraded the forecast for the U.S. GDP for the fourth quarter. They expect the U.S. national economic output to rise the modest 3% in annual terms instead of 6% in the previous forecast. The death of the Supreme Justice gave Republican President Donald Trump the opportunity to appoint the third justice to the Supreme Court during his presidency. If Trump's nominee is approved by the Senate, the Republicans will win the double margin in the Supreme Court, 6 Republicans against 3 Democrats. The US dollar index inched up 0.19% to 94.53. The greenback is going on with its advance. It's on track to close on Friday with the strongest weekly gains since early April. Traders are poised to sell riskier assets due to worries about high infection rates in Europe and uncertain outcome of the presidential election in the US. In the meantime, the dollar versus the Canadian dollar pair is trading higher at 1.3360. The Canadian dollar comes under pressure amid the unstable stock market, even if oil prices prove resilient. Speculations about the new stimulus package in the US revived the crypto market and, above all, Bitcoin. At the end of the week, the most popular cryptocurrency surged nearly 4% to the level of $10,700 per token. The trade volume swelled 76% in tandem with the price, thus supporting the uptrend. Remarkably, a trend reversal of the US dollar was out of the question a few weeks ago. However, investors shifted focus back towards the US dollar due to rising coronavirus cases in Europe. Analysts do not dare to predict how long the US dollar will enjoy buoyant demand. That's all for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you back on Monday. Bye.